Alrighty, y'all, we're back for another video working here on old Betty. We are inching ever closer to actually getting her starting. I think the big thing for this video is going to be wiring up the fans. We got them all fit into place, so now we just got to go through the hassle of actually wiring everything up. I don't know why I refer to it as a hassle when, I chose this. This was my decision, so shouldn't talk negatively about what I've done to Betty. I did get the fan all wired up, the big EFan all wired up off camera, just because I think I mentioned it in the last video. That was a lot of putting it in place, taking it out, trimming some stuff off the shroud, putting it back into place. Overall, things are looking really good, though. She's definitely fit into place. I did do a little test of turning it on before wiring everything up, because, you got to make sure that you didn't hack everything up before you put stuff into place. So really all I have to worry about here is wiring up the relays to the actual fan and then wiring the trigger wires into the cabin so that way I can put them on a switch. Yeah, should be a good time. Sweet. Of course, something I totally forgot to do was to actually tighten this belt up. It's down here in this tight little space. The belt that I had measured out and, found a custom belt to put on here and all that, well, I somehow hacked it up. I still ended up needing just a smidgen longer belt. Don't know how I've hacked that up every time. Don't be afraid to make some mistakes. I'm pretty sure the phrase, you gotta break a couple eggs to make an omelet, is a phrase for a reason. Now, the way that I'm wiring this up is via the use of relays. The big thing with the relay is that it's going to take all of the voltage and the amperage whenever you turn the fan on. These fans are going to pull a lot of amperage. That is going to mean that the actual switches themselves, if I didn't use a relay, well, those are going to take a lot of heat. And that'll wear the switches down really fast. You can get switches that'll support the big amperage draw, but another advantage that I'm going to be getting by leveraging relays is going to be the ability to control the fans with like an Arduino or something like that. In fact, the ECU swap that I've got going on here, it actually has a fan output, so it can control the fans whenever the engine's hot or warmed up or whatever have you, right? For me, though, obviously, I just want everything to be controlled with a computer or a lot more manual control through the use of the switches themselves. Either or, right? This does, however, mean that there's going to be a lot more wiring involved, hence all of this soldering. But hey, what costs for glory? So I just soldered up all the signal wires. We've got the power out wires all handled. We've got the ground wires for the fans. Those ground wires don't actually have to go to the relay. They can either go to a body mount, or in my case, one of them actually went straight to the battery, as I was a little worried about the grounding not being strong enough, because this fan, the one main big fan, pulls a lot of amperage. But anyways, point being is, now with all the signal wires, we can actually worry about getting into the Jeep and wiring those up. A little bit of in-cabin action. Alrighty, y'all. It's actually a few days later, but we're finally here in the cabin. I was not a smart man. I needed to actually run and grab a switch to, wire up all the fans. So that was, that was a silly moment of me. But hey, better late than never, right? Speaking of oopsies, one of the oopsies that I've definitely made here is I have numerous 12-volt power wires coming into the cabin to operate the switches. Here's 2, and I think there's another 1 or 2 actually going to the switches that I've already wired in. If I would have been smarter, I would have only needed the 1, but again, better more than few or something. I don't know, whatever. So, you know, despite the long length here, we can always cut off that, and we can always take more out. Luckily, this is just some cheap wire. I'm going to have to replace all this stuff when I actually swap in the 2J. So, you know, heck it. Let's just do some stuff, right? So, we got the purple and brown here. I don't remember which actually is the high versus the low. So, we're just stacking oopsies here. Basically, the idea is... Where'd it go? I lost my switch again. Oh, no. I've lost my switch again. I just had it in my hand. Oh, I'm a mess. Basically, the idea here is you got an on-off on switch. So, on... off, on. It's got 3 positions. You can barely tell on camera probably. Apologies. But the basic idea is that you run the power wire to the center and then the relay activators to the other 2. So, quick and easy. Since I don't actually have the switch put in the bracket just here, nice little 3D printed bracket that I made, I don't have to worry about which is high and which is low. I can go ahead and just, you know, get it put together and then align the switch into the 3D printed bracket accordingly. No harm, no foul type thing. All right, one more test. Flip it low. Yes, I heard the relay. Flip it high. I heard the relay. Awesome. So this is working. Oh, and I'm a silly Billy. I need another signal wire off the center here for the other switch though. So we have the big fan, which has high and low, and then we have the stock little fan, which just has on or off. So I gotta put another signal wire off the center here, or I gotta put another power wire off the center here so that way I can wire it up to this switch, so that way we have another signal. All right. All the relays are working. I didn't screw that up at least. Alrighty, now we just got to put some fuses in and test the switches right quick. Awesome. Alrighty, let's test the big fan. Woohoo! Let's see if it'll switch to the other mode. Oh, that's high. Oh, that sounds good. I can feel the whole Jeep vibrating from that fan. Yo, it's kicking up dust too. That's some good CFM. That feels like a clutch fan. All right, let's test the other fan. Heck yeah, dude. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We have one last tube to run for the coolant overflow reservoir. But other than that, we've switched to open cooling. We've switched to EFans. We've got the alternator up top here, so it's out of the mud, and I can actually, you know, it's already disconnected, but I can easily disconnect the alternator when the time comes. That's good. That's good for tuning. It's good for testing. let's hope it's good for the dunes too. We'll catch you in the next one.